What's up, guys? I'm Nick, and this is Build Dad Build. And you know what time of year it is. It's drinking season. Woo! And I know, the argument can be made that it's always drinking season, but this is the time of year you're more likely to drink with friends. If you guys have been around the channel for a minute, you guys know that I do enjoy a good smoked cocktail. I did a DIY version of how to smoke them yourself. I'll link that here. That process involves several steps. So lately, I've been kind of fascinated with just these cocktail smokers that sit on top of your glass, because you just light them up, let the smoke go in there, and then you let the smoke kind of mix with the booze, take it off, you're good to go. However, when I went to buy one, those suckers are like anywhere between $50 and $75. And so what did I say to myself? I said, Nick,
you can build that.
So today, actually I take that back. I say today is the second draft. This is the second run of this video. I've already made this video once. However, I didn't like the results. So we're starting over, and we're gonna take some of the things I learned and apply them. So here are some of the redheaded stepchildren of the family, I guess. So here, we'll start with the easy one. So this was just a disc. It's made out of pine, and it's personalized. So I got to laser engrave it, which was cool. However, and then I dyed it just because it was pine. However, the first time I used it, it just immediately marred it with the flame. So I went to some more of a design like this, little smokestack on it, which I like this one. This one probably puts the most smoke in the glass. However, this is a poplar dowel in here, because that's what I had laying around. And poplar, so I tried to Lichtenberg this, which this looks fine, but poplar doesn't take the fractal burning very well. It just burns. And then I used a sodium solution on my pine for the fractal burning, and I think that sodium solution kind of messed up the way the stain went down on this. I realize that you should precondition pine, but I've never had it look that blotchy without something else screwing with it. So next we went into something super simple. This is just red oak, right? Just a disc with a hole in it. I will get to how we were doing this in a second. Love this. Finished it with just a boiled linseed oil. It looks nice and warm, good. Problem is, again, I burn it. And then we have the absolute locked down in the basement stepchild of them all, which is this one, which burnt during the fractal process. The holes aren't lined up. When I was sanding it down, I sanded it out of round, so it's kind of ovular now. Is that a word? Oval shaped. And when you put it on glass, smoke actually comes out of the sides. So not only is this one hideous, it also doesn't work. So the idea behind this was to take something simple like one of these little guys, which is just like one of those little metal funnels that you use to fill a flask, and put that on the top of there and just use that as your thing. And that works decent, but I feel like there's some different combos that'll probably work a little bit better. And I feel like the material has to be a hardwood. I feel like using pine was great for some concepts, but it's not gonna fly. And so what I wanted to do is make this as affordable and accessible for everybody, right? So if you guys wanna make one for yourself, or if you wanna make them for family,
for the drinking days ahead,
for the holidays, or if you wanna try to sell them, I'm just gonna give you a breakdown of how cheaply you can make these guys. This is a board from Lowe's. This is a 1/2 inch, 48 inch long, 5.5 inch wide piece of red oak. So this cost me $18. Now, I know you can argue that you can get better deals if you go to the hardwood stores, and you're absolutely right. But I wanted everybody to have access to this, so everybody usually has a Lowe's or Home Depot they can go to. So this is $18. Measured out, you can get about 9 of these out of it. So that means, that's $2. $2 a disc, right? And then I also bought a oak dowel to match this, and also probably not to burn as easy. This oak dowel was about $9. So right now we're at $3. These little, and we're not gonna use all of these materials in each one of the builds, but we'll combo it out. So I just wanna give you an idea. So these little funnels that I said normally come with a flask, I'll hold that up there so you can see it better. If you're not familiar with a flask filler funnel, one of those guys. These you can buy 10 for $6.79. So for $7, under $1 a piece for the funnels. And then I was looking for different screens. I was going to try to use like aerator screens for a faucet, but a lot of those have plastic on them or they're just too small. So I found these on Amazon as well. And these are 1-inch screens. They're stainless steel and they're
pipe screens.
So I'm sure they're just for tobacco, but we're going to use them for wood. And they just look like this. That little guy right there. And 10 of these was $10 as well. So right now we're looking at $2, $3, $4, $5 in materials, plus some consumables. Of course, we're going to use a little boiled linseed oil and a little glue. But that's it for materials. So you see where I'm going with this, right? Like, if you could sell these for $50, you're making $45 a pop on these. All right, so like I said, I want to do a couple different versions and maybe see which one we like the best. So without further ado, I'm sorry I'm talking a little bit more than I normally do in the beginning of the video. Let's
get to work.
Okay, so we've reached kind of our final form factor for the finished ones. I did do a couple of different heights just because I wanted to see how those would play out one against the other. And I did do one of these. In all my tests, I didn't really see a need for the stack to go below, but I did see one cocktail smoker where, you know, the hole was drilled in the top, then there's holes drilled horizontally through the bottom. So you'd have one hole here and then some more over here. I'm just kind of curious if that's actually gonna produce more smoke. And then once I have them drilled out, we're just gonna play with the little form factor. We're gonna see if we wanna actually drill down like this one. This one has a hole that goes into it. Or my main concern is longevity, and maybe just drill like just a little recess in there, and then this would sit in there, because that way you wouldn't be putting the flame directly on the wood. Anyway, we will play with it once we get these drilled out so you can kind of see what they look like. I did go a little bigger because when you get too close to the glass size, it just doesn't look right. So wanted to have a little extra, so like when you put it on there, you don't have to be perfect, it'll still work. I did see some people that did a recess in here or recess this area. It didn't seem to make any difference to do that, and I mean, this seems to seal like perfectly well like this without a recess. I did do a test where I ran just a little lip in there so it fit over the glass, but I didn't see where one versus the other held more smoke in it. All right, let's get to it. Hey, glove up. Okay, we've hit these guys with a couple of coats of tung oil. Why'd I go tung oil? Just because I had it laying around. I wanted to stick with like an oil that maybe would keep the wood a little bit more moist. Also, I'm sure once you run smoke through this thing once or twice, you'll be good, but I'm not sure how many chemicals you're gonna pull off it the first time. This time the experiment is gonna be how much smoke goes into the glass from each one of these and if it varies at all. So I'm not gonna actually put any booze in the glass right now. Last time I wanted to check this for taste, like how much smoke was actually penetrating in and everything. So I put whiskey in each one of the glasses, did about 4 or 5 of those, and let's just say my afternoon was non-productive. Before we get to the experiments and the results, I just want to say thanks to all you guys for sticking around to the end of the video. If you want to see more videos like this where we price things out, let me know in the comments down below. I also want to thank all my patrons. You guys are awesome. I couldn't do this without you, especially my Boilermaker patrons, Stephen Mann, Eric Weiss, Chuck Faulkner, Derek Coates, Puffy Muffins, Zach Z, Jim Carter, and Andy the Viking. Pinkies on an empty glass. If you haven't checked out my Patreon campaign, head on over to Patreon. I will link it down below. Check it out. Join up if that's your thing. Patrons get exclusive behind the scene content, a little welcome gift from me. Higher tier patrons get swag. Sometimes I send out gifts. Wink, wink. Top tier patrons, you get priority access to me. I try to answer all my comments, all my DMs, all my emails, but I always go to Patreon first. So do me a favor and check it out. Now, let's check these guys out. I meant to laser engrave one of these just to show you could personalize them and maybe charge a little bit extra money. I forgot. So you'll just have to use your imagination. I just did some text on one just to kind of give you an idea. Here's to honor. If you know, you know. But you could do a toast, you could do a saying, you could just, do a last name, Dad's Whiskey, something like that. If you're marketing these to a business, you could put the bar's name around there or the restaurant's name around there. Just a little idea to help hike that price up a little bit more, make it a little extra cheddar. And that was just done on my Ortura Laser Master 2 Pro. If you want to check out one of those guys, I'll put a link to that down below as well. One other thing, I'm going to be using these wood pellets that I use for wood smoking. I feel like they're a little bit more manageable. Last time I was breaking up little pieces of wood from my the wood that I have for my smoker, and I think these will work better. All right, we're just going to go shortest to tallest. I don't know. All right, last time I was using a bigger torch too, so see if that has anything to do with it. Yeah, look at that. Look at that smoke going in there. There it is. It's just a torch, man. Be looking for gorillas in there. Sigourney Weaver. Wow, like nobody's gonna get that reference. So it's definitely how fast you get that thing lit up that's doing that. But that tells me right there that we definitely, look at the top of this thing. Okay, the secret, it was in the flame all along. So this is low profile, going across it. The beauty of these smoker chips too is I took that one off and it was still smoking after the fact. So I'm just gonna do that for a minute, let that go. Look at that. Woo-hoo-hoo. I don't think the length of the thing matters. Wow, okay. Who'd have thought it was the torch the whole time? So you guys gotta tell me, tell me which one of these you like the look of the best. But also, have you ever used a cocktail smoker like this that has the wooden, because all the ones I saw were wooden, the whole thing was wood. Does it start burning up like this? Because this is just from one use, man. Actually, you've got yourself a hell of a deal if you can get people to continue to replace their cocktail smokers with that, because, oh man, 50 bucks a pop, it's brilliant. So for you guys that don't know, you can add smoke to just about any cocktail. However, if you're smoking whiskey, a lot of times you want to smoke your cheaper whiskeys because it'll add a level of complexity to it. This is Elijah Craig's small batch, probably doesn't really need it. Something like Old Granddad or something like that, a lot of times those whiskeys that are a little cheaper with a bite, give them a little smoke and you will love them so much more. All right, we're just gonna let this thing chill for a minute now. We're just gonna let it burn and chill. All right, and that's been sitting there for a while. A lot of times what you wanna do, some people like to let this just sit and then let like the smoke just like literally dissipate and get all the way into the whiskey. But if you're doing this at like a dinner party or for friends, a lot of people like the presentation of being able to take the top off and having the smoke roll out. Hopefully we can see that. Let me get my backer up here I think I let it go a little bit too long, but you'll see what I'm talking about. And then kind of even looking down into the glass, you can still see that smoke rolling out for a minute. And you have a smoked cocktail, my friends. And on that note, I would just like to say, cheers. Oh, it's good, man. Just that smoke adds a little bit more funkiness. This drink is now 25% more funky. Until next time, guys, thanks for playing. Now I gotta get to work. Or put out some fires or some shit. Yeah, man. Little bit of fire. It's the apple pie moonshine. Oh no, my last fuck is burning. Brass monkey, that funky monkey. Put your left leg down, put your light reg. I'm telling you guys, smoked whiskey. It's right there. Did I scare you like a vampire movie? Like you were here with me, so here, let's just do, like, don't make out, just, there you go. Oh, smell it. Smell the smoke. Smell it. Smell it. I've been around my kid too long, holding his head under the covers. Smell it.